Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check. How is everyone doing? How's everyone doing? I left my bag out, but I think that's fine. Making sure I didn't leave anything else out. Yeah. How are y'all doing? Today is August 15th. We are working on some more projects. Yeah. I'm going to recap yesterday, then jump into what I want to work on today and what I hope to get done on Sunday, because this is the last stream till Sunday. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start the stream on Instagram. Switch over to our display. And yeah, we'll go and get started. Let me make sure the music's not too loud. Yeah, if you're watching, let me know how everything sounds. But yeah, let's jump into it. So I'm going to create a new board for today. We're gonna call it 5th stream board. Oh, that deleted, hold on. 5th stream board. Why does it keep doing that? I have to hit enter, that's why, of course I do. But yeah, let's take a look at yesterday, what we did yesterday. So this was our board from yesterday. I started out the stream by going through the first introductory Godot tutorial here. We went through the first page or two. Then it's strongly recommended having any kind of programming background, even though it's one of the easier game engines to get into, they still recommended it. So yeah, they specifically recommended a Harvard intro course, CS50. So we started taking a look at that, seeing what that was all about, seeing what the course description was and everything. And those are the main two things. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it was actually a pretty productive stream otherwise. You know, I feel like I'm getting a good footing on what to work on next. Not a great song. Yeah, I feel like I getting a good sense of where I should move to next from now on, going forward in the stream in general. So then the agenda for today's stream, August 15th, review what we completed yesterday, which is what we're doing now. And then I wrote down jump into week 0 of Harvard CS50 course, and then I have some thoughts about this. So I'm going to talk about that in just a moment, and then we'll make an agenda for tomorrow's stream. I'm gonna copy and paste this format just so we have it for tomorrow. Off of stream, I did talk to a friend about object-oriented programming, so that was cool. That was helpful. Actually, let me copy and paste all this on the bottom here. Delete these arrows, we don't need them. And then I'll say for Sunday's stream, because I am not streaming tomorrow. What day is Sunday? I think it's the 18th, right? Look at a calendar to double check. 90% sure. It's embarrassing I have to check the calendar for this, but whatever. Yeah, August 18th. There we go. So yeah. Oh, sorry, did I say 18th? What? Did I do the math wrong? Oh my god, it is the 18th. I did mess it up. Alright. Whatever. I'm gonna delete that middle section just because we don't know what that'll look like. Going to delete this middle section. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's some crazy thunder where I am right now outside, so Hopefully you all can hear it because it's actually pretty nice to have on in the background. Maybe I should put that on instead of stream music. It's just thunder and rain noises in the background. That'd actually be kind of nice. Maybe I'll do that in a bit, but I'll leave the stream music on for now, but it's not a bad idea. Oh, I forgot to copy and paste the agenda over. So this was today's agenda, but off of stream I decided to change it up a bit. August 15th. So jump into week 0. Tutorial. So, sorry, I'm typing this out and then I'll explain in 1 second. So I'm stuck now between that Harvard course and one that I am leaning towards that I thought about and remembered existed off of stream. I talked about the coding train in the first stream back here. But the coding train, if you go to get started, yeah, there's a whole section of tutorials on getting starting. Not only, I thought it was just with P5.js, but it's on coding in general. It is mostly geared towards processing and P5.js, but the reason I'm leaning towards this, so I was talking to a friend off of stream, the like a CS course might be better because the CS course it'd be a little bit more well-rounded in general, but I like the idea of, or might dive a little bit deeper, but I like the idea of using this more because it's specifically for creative coding and I can actually make things that I'm excited about in the course, which I think will go such a long way towards keeping me motivated. Whereas in the Harvard course, I would be making things, but I think their demos were for like things like finance and stuff. And I don't plan on using coding for finance. I plan on using it for visual art and music and audio and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards this coding train tutorial. I didn't officially decide, but now that I'm talking out, I think that's the one to go with. So originally on my agenda, I was going to say decide between coding train intro to coding tutorials or CS50. Just to do a double glance of what that looks like. So this was the page that we were looking at yesterday for Harvard CS50. Where's the intro page? Here it is. So I already read through all of this yesterday. Topics include computational thinking, abstraction, algorithms, data structures, computer science, more generally. Problem sets inspired by the arts, humanities, social sciences, and sciences. The course starts with a traditional but omnipresent language called C that underlies today's newer language, via which you'll learn not only about functions, variables, conditionals, loops, and more, but also about how computers themselves work underneath the hood, memory, and all. Then it transitions to Python, a higher level language that you will understand all the more because of C. Toward term's end, the course introduces SQL, via which you can store data in databases, along with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, via which you can create web and mobile apps alike. Course culminates in a final project. So let's read what the coding train focuses on then. Welcome. If you're new to coding, getting started can feel overwhelming. Hopefully this passenger guide will help you with everything you need to begin. There are two main tracks you can follow for total and complete beginners. Creative Coding for Beginners full course, Learn Processing. The Learn Processing track is the newer beginner series on the coding train. It covers all of the fundamentals of computer programming, variables, conditionals, loops, functions, objects, arrays, and Java with processing. And then with P5.js, the code programming with P5.js track focuses on the fundamentals of computer programming, variables, conditionals, iteration, functions, and objects with JavaScript. So GDS, this might help me make my decision. GDS script is what Godot uses. And I believe it's a it's, what was it that they're talking about yesterday in the intro page? Let me just go to the intro. Object-oriented programming. I didn't read that on the page, but I just remembered it out of nowhere. Here it is. Let's talk about the available programming languages. You can code your games using GDS script, a Godot-specific and tightly integrated language with a lightweight syntax, or a C#, which is popular in the industry, but I didn't download the port that uses C#. Godot relies on the object-oriented programming paradigm. Being comfortable with concepts such as classes and objects will help you code efficiently in it. Okay, so yeah. So what I want to know is between the two courses is JavaScript. I believe from my conversation with my friend last night, JavaScript is object-oriented, but processing, but Java, I'm not sure. So you look up. Is that more thunder outside? No, I think it's a plane. Is Java object-oriented programming language? Is Java a object-oriented programming language? Yes, it is. What? Not fully object-oriented. And then this says Java is 100% object-oriented. Why are we getting multiple answers? Often read that Java is the best language to learn object-oriented programming. Java forces OOP on you. Python has OOP support. You don't necessarily have to use it. Then JavaScript. Is JavaScript a object-oriented programming language? JavaScript is heavily object-oriented, but is not a class-based object-oriented language like Java. Okay, so I think that line right there might be helpful. Then they say class-based in here. Being comfortable with concepts such as classes and objects will help you code efficiently in it. So does that mean Java would be more helpful? It's a prototype-based object-oriented language. All right, so it sounds like Java might be better, but I don't know, I was leading P5.js before this just because I have a little bit more experience with it, and there's a few things that P5.js does that I think is really cool in terms of being able to port it places. But this course also says that processing is the newer version. Maybe that's the better course to go with. Let me see if he talks about in this guide which one he recommends for beginners. Let's see. Languages. In almost all of the videos, you'll find me using Processing or P5.js. Processing is a software sketchbook and language built on top of Java for learning how to code within the context of visual arts. P5.js is a JavaScript library that comes with a friendly online web editor for creative coding. Both projects are maintained by the Processing Foundation. If you are interested in learning web development, P5.js is a way to get started with the very basics of JavaScript, which will lead you into doing more with HTML, the markup language that defines the structure of a web page, and CSS, a language that defines the style and look of a web page. For a beginner, I recommend the P5.js web editor. It's probably the most used coding environment. If you are using processing, it comes with its own development environment. You can also explore a downloadable text editor like Visual Studio Code for either. I cover tools beyond P5.js and processing in my 2023 workflow video. There are many other text editors out there. Feel free to use whichever makes your coding experience comfortable. Yeah, I remember talking about this on a past stream, but it's nice to cover it all again, reread things. Um, should I learn Java or JavaScript for game design? Java is commonly used for Android game development. JavaScript is essential for web-based games. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning P5.js, even though Java is object-oriented. Maybe, maybe I'll learn both first, but to streamline, let me just read through this a little bit more. To streamline your learning experience, pick a track to begin your ride on the coding train. Main tracks are sequenced video tutorials that you can follow like a course syllabus. Side tracks are collections of related videos, but don't necessarily need to be watched in order. So filter by language. Oh. We'll do basic. Topic. I'll need, I guess, any topic, wherever someone should start. Together on the Apple II+, it's funny. Oh, I guess basic is a programming language. Maybe I'm wrong. There's a whole section for video games. This sidetrack is a collection of coding challenges for various classic and new video games and processing Java or JavaScript with via Hive.js. Cool. That would actually be great. The Snake game. Flappy Bird, Asteroids, Pong, Minesweeper, Frogger. Yeah. All right. This is awesome. I'm going to write down this track. Uses P5.js, JavaScript, Node.js, processing, M15.js, basic. I don't know any of these except for the ones I've already talked about today. Have a nice stream, brother. Thanks, Joe. Good to hear from you. How are you, dude? Good to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yeah, how are you doing? If you're sticking around, let me know how you're doing. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm going to save this link because this seems like a particularly helpful link. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Like how it's funny how it only types in the last part of the URL. Always makes me a little concerned. Hey, we should stick with this getting started guide though, but I'm glad I saved that for later. So I'm gonna link this too. I'll organize the freeform board later. I'll leave it there for now. And you know what, because we talked about it, I'll leave the welcome page and the Godot intro tutorial too. Actually, do I? Nah, I'll leave those out and focus on the coding train. Not loving this song. I feel like I figured out what album I'm not as into with the streaming playlist. Sorry I missed your messages, Joe. I'm doing well. I beat Skyward Sword last night. Nice. Now I gotta finish Subnautica. Cool. I've never played Subnautica. I've watched a little bit of people playing it online, but I don't know much about it. How is it? How is Subnautica? Also, how'd you like the ending of Skyward Sword? You know, I know we were talking about how it's such a divisive game, but I loved the final boss, and yeah, I thought it was a really fun ending. Oh, cool. I've never looked into playing Subnautica just because my backlog is already too big, but I do know a little bit about it for sure. Alright. Subnautica is a 10 out of 10, no lie. So, I watched very, very little of it. Like, what do you do in Subnautica? What kind of game is it really? I just saw, like, I've really just seen movement and the aesthetic of it and everything. I don't really know what the gameplay is like. But that's cool, though. That's cool. Getting started guide. So we kind of went through this first page, but we didn't watch any of the videos. But these videos will be very helpful. We'll come back to the videos. So table of contents. I don't know if this, which comes next, start learning and coding or languages. Oh wait, it's all on the page itself. Version control. So yeah, so this is just the page. Is there? I guess you can go wherever you want after this track, right? Guides. Is that where we're just on? Yeah, getting started. So I guess, yeah, go through the getting started guide and then get to choose which guide was this. Pay for a membership. I'll probably do that if I use it enough, just because that would probably be nice to support. Or it would definitely be nice to support. Skyward Sword is great. I would say I have a few criticisms. Yeah, for sure. I loved Demise design, but I wish there was more lore about him throughout the game. Totally agree. The game's story was like 90% about the goddess. Oh my god, I forgot how to say her name. Hyla. Final boss was sick. Final boss fight was sick. Yeah, no, that I totally, that was what I was referring to before, for sure. But yeah, no, it definitely isn't a perfect game. Like I liked it more than people generally talk about it. I think part of that is because of the Switch port. I don't know if I would have liked it on the Wii too, but yeah. Yeah, glad you enjoyed it though. Maintaining the website guide on adding content to the site. Probably not what I'm looking for at this stage. Subnautica, super fun game. I doubt I'll ever. Oh no, Still's talking about Zelda. Super fun game. I doubt I'll ever dislike a Zelda game. Yeah, no, that's exactly how I feel. Well, have you played the DS games? Because I hear the DS games get a lot of flack too. I haven't played them before. I think it's mostly because touch controls. Sorry, I just look out the window because I just saw some crazy thunder right now. It's cool. But yeah, no, I feel that. You haven't played Link's Awakening too, right? You gotta play Link's Awakening on the Switch. Oh, I think I like Skyward Sword overall a little bit more, but Link's Awakening is really up there for sure. Yeah, Thunder's crazy right now. It's just a fun thing to stream too. Subnautica is you crash land on a planet that's all ocean and it's an open world survival crafting building game. Gotcha, cool. So it sounds kind of like Ocean No Man's Sky from that description, I assume. I haven't played No Man's Sky since all the updates. I only played it when it first came out, but I've also heard Subnautica is much better than No Man's Sky, at least how it originally was. You spend your time gathering mats to make submarines and stuff, and you avoid giant sharks and stuff. Gotcha. Jan Diego would love that game. Jan Diego loves crafting and open world survival games. I do too, for context. You know, I'd probably really enjoy it if I played it. But Jan, that's like what he's been. Excuse me. It's what he's been really into lately. I'm gonna go back to the guides here. That's cool though. That's cool. That's cool. And makes sense from everything I've seen about it. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can hear the thunder, but it sounds very cool on my end. I doubt the microphone's picking it up, but it would be cool if it did. They have No Man's Sky VR as well. Would be sick. Yeah, no, totally. That does seem like a perfect game for VR. I've only played a few VR games. I once tried a Meta Quest. I forget which one, but not the newest one. And I was really impressed with how far VR has come recently. But I would love to get into VR, but there's just not enough games for me to invest and save up for a VR headset. But they are really cool. And No Man's Sky does seem like a perfect VR game. Half-Life Alyx also looks really cool. That's another VR game I've always had interest in. It's cool that you can showcase your work on this page. The Discord, I'm actually already in the Discord, so that's cool. I've never played VR. I really want to get a setup for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and No Man's Sky. Nice! Yeah. Do you have a PC? I forget if you have a PC, but that would be perfect. Oh, I forgot Skyrim has VR. That's cool. Yeah, no, I totally forgot that Skyrim has VR. But yeah, I've seen like the Logitech controllers for Microsoft Flight Simulator and stuff. Yeah. James Kim would love that too. I know James. Have you talked to James about Microsoft Flight Simulator? James loves Microsoft Flight Simulator. I forget if it's a recent thing for him, like a pandemic hobby or something, or if he's always been into it and I didn't learn about it until COVID and everything, but yeah. I don't think he has... I think he does have like a joystick controller, but he doesn't have like a full setup and everything. I don't think. Maybe he does now, but I guess we should jump into one of these videos. This seems like the first video to play. I'm also leaning towards the P5JS track. What? So the tracks, there's so many more tracks than what what they showed before. It said 2 tracks before. Streamline your learning experience. Pick a track to begin your ride on the coding train. Main tracks are sequenced video tutorials that you can follow like a course syllabus. Side tracks are collections of related videos, but don't necessarily need to be watched in order. Oh, it says at the top of each video, main track or side track. That's cool. Let's just put in P5JS and back to the video game topic. I don't know if video game's a good place to begin, but it's again, we're not starting here, but I'm curious how the course will work. Just trying to figure out the course generally. Oh my god, there's a lot. Oh, yeah, there's also a sound section that I forgot. And sound visualization. Maybe we should start there. I don't know. What? I thought wasn't I just on a video game one? Or is it under G for game? Games, there we go. I do have a PC I built in October. I never played the DS Zelda games, but Minish Cap and Four Swords and Link's Awakening are on my list. Nice, yeah. Pretty much for me, all the ones that are currently playable on Switch are on my bucket list at one point or another. I forget which one. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom is what I gotta finish next. That's definitely next for me, but I don't know which one I want to play after Tears of the Kingdom. Up to Tears of the Kingdom, I used to alternate where I'd play one 2D, one 3D, one 2D, but actually I haven't really played that many. I guess that's just how it coincidentally started up when I first started playing. I did Breath of the Wild was my first, then I played Link's Awakening, then Skyward Sword, and then Tears of the Kingdom. Was there one between Skyward Sword and Tears of the Kingdom? I don't think so, but yeah. James loves Microsoft Flight Simulator. He does have a joystick. Nice, yeah. So you know better than I do, but yeah. Tears is a 10 out of 10 for me, for sure. Got flagged too, but I seriously loved it. Yeah, no, I feel like, well, Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like, it got flagged, but there's still a huge number of people like us who think it's 10 out of 10. Because I agree with you, it is totally 10 out of 10 for me. And I feel like the flack is just that it's too similar. People think it's too similar to I love how we were both Zelda nerds. Me too. me too. But yeah, no, I feel like Tears of the Kingdom the flack is that it's too similar to Breath of the Wild, but you know, they wouldn't have been able to make Tears of the Kingdom if it wasn't as similar to Breath of the Wild as it was. You know what I mean? Like the amount of time they put into the physics and building mechanics and stuff. The only flack it got was because the same map was the same, and they literally tripled the map, so that's moot for me. I don't know what moot means here, I'll be honest, but yeah, no. That was not an issue for me either. They changed up enough things where it felt fresh, and I loved the sky areas were my favorite. I guess it's still a 10 out of 10 for me, but or like a 9.98 out of 10, but because the only thing for me is I wish there was more variety underground. Like, I feel like the underground area can get a little monotonous at times, but that's, again, I haven't finished it. Maybe I'll have a different opinion on that by the time I finish the game. But yeah, I think that's the only thing I can really think of through my playthrough, and that was super minor too, you know what I mean? But anyways, yeah, no. Yeah, put the Zelda Nerds comment back on stream. You can't see it on Instagram, but I've been putting your chat on the left here. I move it back. Yeah, there we go. I don't agree with the point of the map being the same, because they legit tripled the map and added so much. I agree with the underground, about the underground, but I still loved it. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I'm totally still glad it's there. I think it's really cool. And my favorite part of the underground was I did the first, there's one dungeon in the underground that I played. That was my favorite part. That was awesome. Yeah, they really did triple it and add so much too. I think some people only played like the first couple hours and didn't see that the map literally tripled. You know what I mean? Because it takes a few hours to get to the underground area and everything. But anyways. Yeah, so this is game. Oh, everything under games is a side track, none of it's main track. Oh yeah, there's just one video on video games. Maybe I should go down the sound one after this then. But we'll still go to the getting started guide. Let's just watch these videos. Again, we're not bound to this course. We can always change later on, but I think it would still be a good first place for sure. Tears of the Kingdom cutscenes with Ganon are some of my fave moments in all of Zelda. Oh, don't tell me. So I've only seen a little bit of Ganon so far in the game. I've put a lot of time into it, but I've still only gone halfway because I was really just completely taking my time with it. So yeah, don't spoil too much. But yeah, the ones that I have seen are really cool. Also, real quick, I won't spoil anything. Don't worry. Yeah, no worries. I got you. Oh, it looks like my streaming software takes a lot longer to load in the comments. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the no spoilers. I also forgot to write on Instagram, live on Twitch and YouTube. Link in bio. I'll put that there real quick. I forgot to say that, Joe. I am multi-streaming right now, and you can only see the vertical most section here. You can see me now, but you can only see the vertical layout of the stream on Instagram. So you get to see like my actual whole desktop and everything. So if you see me talking about something that's off the screen, that's why. Just so you know. But let's get back into it. How long are these two videos? Oh, this one's a minute. This one is 5 hours. That's a big difference. Let's start with the one that's 1 minute. Damn, that's a very big difference. Yeah, here, I'll make it full screen. Oh, song ended at the perfect time.
Hello and welcome to Code! Exclamation point! This is an online set of videos where my name is Dan, last name Schiffman, am here to teach the basics, the fundamentals of programming. This is a course for total beginners who have never tried programming before. I'm going to use the programming language JavaScript. I'm going to show you how to code in JavaScript. I'm going to use a JavaScript library called P5.js, which is like big heart to P5.js. I love P5.js. It's a library that has a lot of functionality for a bunch of things, but notably drawing and animation and interactivity. So I don't know what you're going to make, but by the end, you might make a game, an art project, a science experiment, a performance. I don't know what you're going to make, but I can't even imagine it, and I'm excited to find out. So come with me, all aboard on the coding train to learn the basics, code, JavaScript with P5.js.
So let's see the introduction to this 5-hour intro. Let's see.
Processing 10 years later.
So this is the whole track, I guess. But I guess on the P5.js track, it must be like a YouTube playlist. That makes sense. All right, I'm finally should have figured that out sooner. But anyways.
1. Do you have no idea what it means to program? That is going way too fast. Take 2. Totally just pressed the wrong button on the teleprompter. Take
This intro is 15 minutes, so I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. But
3.
also, I don't know why my monitor is flickering like that. Hopefully, you all don't see it on stream.
really gonna get this intro this time. Hi, welcome. First, this is a really long video. I'm about to introduce it and kind of talk about myself, my background, and what's gonna be here. But if you kind of know why you're here already and just wanna get to the tutorials, check the time codes in the video description. You can jump right there. But maybe you have no idea why you're here. If that's the case, I would really like to know. So why am I here making this video? Have you ever wanted to learn programming? Do you have no idea what it means to program, to write code, to create your own software? Do you want to break free from the bonds of the tools that other people have made for you and learn to build your own software, to make things with code? So that kind of sounds like...
Also, I just realized I should put a link in the chat for everyone to this page because we're watching it. Go give them a follow, a subscribe, whatever you got to do.
Sales pitch. That was not my intention. I'm not trying to sell anything here. You can go, you can leave. There's lots of other recommendations and things that'll probably take you somewhere else. But if I've piqued your interest, if you're interested in learning to program, this is why I'm making this very long video series, full tutorial about learning to code. When you first start learning to code, trying to pick a programming language to use, an environment, figuring out what you want to make, it's a giant complicated mess of questions and possibilities. It can be...
Sorry, I'm distracted right now. I just lost the Instagram feed. I don't know if I'm still live right now. I don't think I am. Did I surpass an hour? I don't think I did. Oh, I am still alive. Weird. All right, I just posted the coding train link there too. You're still live. Cool. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate the message. Thank you. Cool.
Very hard to get started. So I'm going to take care of all of that for you right now. And there's one way that you can learn how to program. Not the only way you can or should, but it's my favorite way, and that's with something called processing. I have been working with processing since 2003. I have made a lot of online tutorials. And
favorite thing, why is it his favorite thing over P5? That's... I want to learn more about the difference between the two. I know a little bit about the difference, but not a lot.
Processing since 2003. I have made a lot of online tutorials and textbooks and lots of workshops and classes. And in fact...
Oh, I saw that book. Maybe that... I don't know if we can work through books on the stream, if that's... I don't want to steal his book and then stream it online. But that would be cool.
In 2012...
It wouldn't be stealing. I mean, it's still a book, but you know what I mean.
was teaching a class called Introduction to Computational Media, and I started making a video about how to learn to code with processing. And it was just as messy and confused as I am right now, but this is who I am. Take it or leave it. It'll get hopefully a little bit more focused and organized once I'm into the actual coding lessons itself. So I really was just asking myself the question, should I remake those videos? The quality wasn't so great, although I did look much younger over 10 years ago.
Hopping over to Twitch. I love your Twitch profile picture. You can kind of see it a little bit in the corner. That's so funny. Nice. I used to spam those same emotes in the chat while I'd start my screen. That's so funny. Damn, nice. So I can do this. Totally, yeah. No, Twitch will be a much better experience, I'll admit for sure. I'm gonna go back. Sorry if this is annoying to everyone. I'm gonna go back a little bit just to recap that. Make sure I actually pay full attention. Just as messy and also, Joe, thank you for sticking around too. It's nice chatting with you in chat, but yeah. As I am right now, but this is who I am. Take it or leave it. It'll get hopefully a little bit more focused and organized once I'm into the actual coding lessons itself. So I really was just asking myself the question, should I remake those videos? The quality wasn't so great, although I did look much younger over 10 years ago, but enough time has passed. A lot has changed in the landscape of tools for learning to code. I've learned some new better ways to sort of teach some of the concepts. Processing most recently came out with version 4, which has many new and exciting features. I have a lot more gray hair. I got these like stripes here. So I figure, why not? Let's just do it all again. So it's my hope that this video will help you learn to code for the very first time. I mean, I suppose you could watch this if you... No worries, I've been streaming recently too. Gotta show love to the homies. No way! No way, no way. Are you streaming? Is this the account you're streaming on? I'm gonna stick around while I play Subnautica. Nice! Hell yeah. No, I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, is this the Twitch account? Let me know so I can follow you. You know how to code? Actually, let me go and follow you right now before I forget. Yes, it is. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, I'm following you. Awesome. Shout out to Joe. Joey Bingle. Shout out Jody Bingle. Work in progress. Yeah, no, for sure. I assume you mean about your stream. I mean, same with mine. Same with mine. But I'm really looking for the beginner. I'm about to get started, but I want to talk to you a little bit more about just sort of me and my background, and also a little bit about, if you'll indulge me, a little bit about the history of processing itself. So I think I said my name. If I didn't, it's Dan. Daniel Schiffman is also another way to say my name in a longer way. I work and teach currently at a program called ITP and IMA, which is part of Tisch School of the Arts at New York University. And that is in fact where I discovered that I love programming. I was 28 years old. It was 2001, and I enrolled as a master's student in this program, ITP, where I teach now. And I took a class called Introduction to Computational Media, and I learned the basics of programming with the Lingo programming language. You might not know what Lingo is, but it is the programming language from a piece of software called Macromedia Director, and it was invented by the incredible John Henry Thompson. So I encourage you to learn more about John Henry Thompson's work. He actually appeared as a guest on a Coding Train video. I'll show a clip of that right now. You can watch that. That's awesome. We should check out his work later. But the point of what I'm trying to say here that you might be surprised to know is that beyond some small... Do you use two PCs to stream? I do not. No, I stream on one. I'm actually streaming on a Mac right now. I use a software called Ecamm Live. I used to use OBS, but it was a little finicky for me on Mac, and it was just easier for me to switch to Ecamm rather than buy a PC. And I love Ecamm Live too. I actually kind of like it more than OBS for my purposes at least. But OBS is free. Ecamm was not. Ecamm's a subscription, so I do definitely miss that. And OBS is still great too. I'll write that in the chat. Yeah, I used to stream on Mac as well. Yeah, did you have the similar issues with sorry, so my computer's acting a little weird. Did you have the same issues with OBS? I tried out Twitch.studio as well, and they deleted it. I had to switch to OBS. I didn't know they deleted it. I've never tried Twitch Studio. Yeah. Oops, I didn't mean to link. Oh, I don't even see the link on my end. No worries. Oh yeah, I see it in the main Twitch chat, but no worries. Yeah, I didn't know they deleted it. But yeah, OBS, I feel like it's a little tough to set up for the first time, but then once you set up, it's really easy to use. In my opinion, at least, I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, let me see. All right, did you get a capture card too? Then I assume you're playing console games, or maybe you're playing PC games actually. Oh yeah, Subnautica's a PC game. I forgot, or it's on everything. I don't know if you're streaming Zelda, so yeah.
Experiments I did programming on an Apple II in the 80s.
Oh, but I assume if you ask me if I use two PCs, I assume you're using. Are you using two? I was gonna say I assume you use one, but maybe you're using two if you asked. I have a capture card for console. Don't do it much though. I just use one. Got you. Yeah. Got you. It's kind of fun too. I really enjoy setting it up and everything. You know, it really feels like I have my own little radio broadcast, which I like. And it's just fun to get to talk to people like exactly how we're doing right now. You know what I mean?
I never actually.
I'm excited. Yeah, it is super fun. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see yours. I'm excited to tune into some of your streams. Maybe I can raid you sometime. Just raid you with my 2 viewers.
Programming until that time. I was interested in other things, and maybe you are too.
Let's go.
What is your passion? Maybe you're interested in biology or economics or painting, robots, music, movies, hiking, social justice, the law, travel, sociology, dance, food, you like to cook. I don't know. I'm here to tell you that learning to code is...
So there's another thing with the Harvard course. I'm just going to say we're definitely sticking with Coding Train because I like I like Daniel's vibe so much more than the vibe of that Harvard course. You know, Daniel's very... fun and amusing, and yeah, I just love his vibe.
Something that you can do, and it may just expand the way you approach and think about whatever the passions are in your life. So I think there is this question of why should you learn to program the computer? And the first thing that I think is important to say is, you know, maybe you don't need to or want to. That's totally fine. You're interested in lots of stuff. This does not interest you.
Oh, you probably asked about the 2 PC things because I'm multi-streaming. My Ecamm Live had an update, which I was really grateful for because I was about to start streaming again. But Ecamm Live lets you multi-stream right inside of the software. But there are ways to multi-stream with OBS too. But I think you have to like use other services.
Videos to watch, other skills to learn, no problem. I don't mean to say that everyone needs to learn to program, or certainly everyone should watch this video to learn to program. But if you're interested and you think you might want to learn to program, then I want to say that it is for you. There are no restrictions, no prior knowledge. It's really something that everybody can do. And here's why I think it might be relevant. Like you probably, you're watching this video, probably on a computer. You probably use the computer a lot. Maybe you use it as a tool for work, for family and social interactions. You do your taxes on it. You use different software. You want to write an essay. You need to manipulate an image. So much of the stuff you do in your life requires a computer. So what are you using on the computer? You're using software. Who made the software? Not you. It's great that there is all this software, but if you want to be creative.
Oh, I asked because I noticed you're on Mac and wondered if you do things on Mac but stream from PC. Got you. No, that would totally make sense. And was originally something I considered, but I just happen want to buy a PC. I don't want to, but they could be expensive.
If you want to express yourself, if you want to make your own things on the computer without the limitations and features that other people who have made the software, in particular large corporations that are selling you the software, then you will want to learn to code. Everything that you do on the computer starts with that software. So why can't the person who makes the software to do the things on your computer be you? What kinds of things could you invent? What kinds of ideas could you come up with if you weren't limited by what already runs?
If you ever want to build one, I can help. I got super into building mine when I made mine last October. Sweet. No, I appreciate that. I'll let you know. There was one point where I got pretty close to buying a graphics card off a friend, so I'll let you know. No rush. Your stream looks and sounds great on Mac. Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Really appreciate that. Looks and sounds. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if I got a PC, it would be more for gaming than streaming, in all honesty. And maybe like 3D rendering and game dev stuff, but you know, I'm starting with keeping it on my Mac for now.
On your computer. Now,
Since I
I have to admit something. I'm making this sound very, very grand. And in just a short while, as I start doing the tutorials, we're going to be really excited because you and I together writing some code drew a circle that appeared on the screen. So don't get me wrong. This is going to be a slow process. Programming is hard. And this is just the beginning. I'm going to show you the basics and you're going to need to take it much farther. But it's my hope that this video series will get you going in the right direction. So how am I going to show you about code? How are you going to learn to code? So honestly, I really wish that I knew the secret, the perfect way for everyone to learn. I don't. And I'm the first to admit that my style of presentation might not be the right fit for you. There are lots of online resources, books, and videos. How do you know what to pick? In my view, lots of
Thank you. Sorry, I muted it when I went to get a drink of water, and like a boomer, forgot to unmute my mic. I ended my stream the first time I started streaming again with like a whole half hour of me completely muted. Yeah, if you go back and watch the VOD from my first stream back a few days ago on Sunday, let me hear those slurps. Yeah, I was muted for a whole half hour. But anyways, I was just laughing. I was just saying that looks exactly like butter. Like, what else could that be? That's so funny. I feel like it's something else, but yeah, no, I was just laughing and saying you're so right, and I can't believe you picked up on that. That's so funny. I wonder if that's like a intentional, because he totally seems like the kind of guy to do that as like a joke. And if so, I respect it. I mean, even if it's butter, no matter what, I respect it. But I wonder what it could be if it's not actually butter. Yeah, no, for real.
resources, books, and videos. How do you know what to pick? In my view, the best way to learn programming is to try learning the programming language that's right in front of you. What do I mean by right in front of you? I mean, maybe you have a friend.
What? Who is Pom Pom? Is this someone I know? Following since 2021. Yeah, who's Pomprox? That username sounds so familiar. I feel like I remember you from my old streams. I just don't remember who you are. I like the little purple mounds myself, though.
Who's also learning to program. Why don't you just learn
The world famous Pomprox. Thanks for answering my question. You got me there. You got me there.
the same language that they're learning so you can do it together? Maybe you've had a teacher who you just find inspiring and they love this language and they've got some lessons in this language. Try that one. Don't
I identify most with the smiley sun. Yeah, the sun is very cute. I love the little smiley sun. Very cute.
worry too much. Ultimately, to learn, you're just going to have to try it yourself. I could try to build a very fancy online learning platform, but nothing beats being with people and talking through those ideas. Nothing beats learning from your mistakes and asking for help, and even better, helping others. So maybe this video and me, I can be that person for you on some level. Maybe processing can be that platform for you. It was for me, and so I'm really excited to share my experience learning to code with you. It was right around, I learned with Lingo, as I talked about. I was learning Java and some other programming languages. And right around the time I graduated from this program in 2003, I discovered.
Nothing beats being stuck trying to do something for hours over and over again to learn something new. Yeah, no, that is always rough.
And immediately started learning everything I could about it. In 2004, I taught a class called Procedural Painting as an experiment to a small...
Sorry, I just got notified that I reached my stream duration limit on Instagram, so I'm going to go and end the Instagram stream. But we'll keep streaming for a little bit on Twitch and YouTube. I had to think about that for a second. Sorry, you probably saw this when I responded to your last comment, but I've had a long day and my brain's starting to not break down, but need some rest. But it's all good. We're having a good stream.
Students at NYU, and there I attempted to take everything I had learned in Lingo and translate it into the processing environment. So that syllabus and set of tutorials made their way into a book called Learning Processing, which then made their way into the...
I didn't know about this book. I knew about his other JavaScript book, but I didn't know about this one, or the new JavaScript book.
2012 video series about learning to code, and launched ultimately this YouTube channel called The Coding Train, which is where I am right now. And I hope that this video will be the new one on the channel to help everybody get started learning to program with processing. Let me give you a quick primer on the history of the processing project. So it began in June 2001. Casey Reese and Ben Fry were studying under John Maida at the MIT Media Lab. Now, Maida had created something called Design by Numbers, and they were inspired by it. Design by Numbers emphasized simplicity in creating images and animations with code, and Reese and Fry wanted to do something similar. They wanted to make an environment that would match the ease of beginner-friendly languages like BASIC and Logo. In a 2009 Rhizome.org interview, Fry explains, "Our goal was to emulate Design by Numbers' simplicity and focus, but we wanted to exceed the limits of DBN. So Design by Numbers could only render 100 by 100 pixels. It was all grayscale. It only allowed for integer."
That's what I thought. Yeah, no, I thought he was the old RISD president. That's funny you picked up on that. Yeah, no, I thought the same thing.
Whole numbers. So Reese and Fry settled on using the programming language Java.
That's so funny. What a small world.
A new processing environment, which would allow for full color, higher resolution. But because it was Java, it could also connect to this giant...
Yeah, no, right? For real.
Packages and libraries. So processing programs could communicate on the network. They could interface with hardware and microcontrollers. They could render graphics to a PDF and so much more. The name processing actually comes from a journal idea that Reese and Fry were considering publishing with the MIT Press. They wanted to write about computational work and the process behind it. The journal never happened, but the processing name did stick. You might be amused to know that other names that were tossed around, I think, were Seal and Bagel. I really like the idea of bagel, actually. So Processing 1.0 was released in 2008, and in 2012, the Processing Foundation itself, a nonprofit, was formed with a mission to maintain the software platforms and support people in learning how to program, especially those who might not otherwise have access to tools and resources. The foundation has expanded its offerings. There's Python mode for processing created by Jonathan Feinberg, processing for Android created by Andres Colubri, and P5JS created by Lauren Lee.
I didn't know about those first two. I know about P5, but I didn't know about the processing for Android, or what was the other one? Python mode.
McCarthy. If you've watched The Coding Train before, you've probably seen me use both processing and P5JS across countless tutorials.
So the one thing I want to finish on before the stream ends is I want to figure out if I want to pursue processing or P5, because of the two tracks he pointed out. So I do have some experience with P5. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards, but I also like the idea that the newest course is with processing. I like the idea of using his newest course because he mentioned himself he has the most experience teaching now. But yeah, again, I love Daniel Schiffman. He's great. I watched his videos many times in college. This is my first time going through like his course, so to say, or like track rather. Before I would just use tutorials here and there when I needed them, but yeah, he was always great for that. I don't know why I even considered that Harvard course yesterday. It was just because Godot recommended it, but this is definitely the way to go with Daniel Schiffman.
Coding challenges. With P5JS, I'm able to link.
Another great thing with P5JS is there's another YouTuber who I discovered who makes P5JS tutorials that's really great, and we could reference her as well. I've actually already gotten her permission to show her videos on stream too, so that would be great. Yeah, this is her, Pat Vera. I'll put a link to her YouTube channel in the chat.
It's quite interesting to.
Sorry, that was probably really loud, but yeah, I'm just putting a link to her channel in the chat too. Where did we leave off? Right here.
Code running in the browser right there because it's JavaScript. Now, you might be surprised to know that while Java today seems like the farthest thing away from the web browser, in 2001, Java applets were the primary way to share processing sketches on the web. So Java applets are no longer supported today, but the newest version of Processing 4, which I am celebrating in this series, includes many new features well suited for desktop applications. So full screen graphics across different screens and projectors,
cool.
Connected to third-party libraries, hardware, and more. So whether you want to use processing, explore JavaScript, or Python, or try your hand at any other language or environment, it's my hope that Processing 4 is a place for you to learn and play. The concepts.
He's already convincing me on processing. I'm easily convinced with this stuff, but
fundamentals, the core principles of coding are the same across all of these places. Beyond learning a specific language, I think what's important about learning to program is learning about how to think about a problem and break it down into parts and solve it. And let me tell you, when it works, it is very, very satisfying. Okay, so now it's time to get into this video itself. I want to talk to you a bit about how I've structured things, how you might
I get sturdy on the daily
and move your way through what is a very, very long video. So ordinarily in the past, I've made courses or video tutorials or sequences like this broken up into many, many, many short videos, 10 to 20 minutes each. This is everything all in one.
Yeah, go back, see like
many, many, many short courses or video tutorials or sequences like this broken up into many, many, many short videos, 10 to 20 minutes each. This is everything all in one. It is not meant to be consumed in one sitting. I've divided it into different chapters, organized with a table of content.
Drawing with code, flow variables, conditionals, loops, arrays, functions, classes, and objects. That also, I like that this course is so much shorter than the Harvard one. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards this processing course over the P5 one, and obviously over the Harvard one. Classes and objects was the thing that they recommended we learn about before starting Godot. So I'm glad that it's one of the chapters here. It's only an hour long, but still. I guess that's long in comparison to the other chapters. Confetti project conclusion.
I'll include information about that in the video description on my website, but hopefully if you're watching this on YouTube, you are seeing that as part of the interface, the experience.
Go back and hear what he said about the description on his website.
Contents. I'll include information about that in the video description on my website, but hopefully if you're watching this on YouTube, I've done it all in one. It is not meant to be consumed in one sitting.
Let me go to the video description and
Today.
See what's linked there. Let the ad play out. Oh yeah, and this is his new book, by the way. put that in the chat. Oh, it's just all the chapters in the description. Sorry, that's probably obvious from what he was saying, but I need to see it for whatever reason. Share your creation. Cool. I'll get back to it.
Divided it into different chapters, organized with a table of contents. I'll include information about that in the video description on my website, but hopefully if you're watching this on YouTube, you are seeing that as part of the interface, the experience of watching it. So it's a bunch of lessons, all sequenced, teaching you the fundamentals of computer science and programming with processing. And at the end, everything culminates with a mini project that I'll show you how to build that synthesizes all of the concepts from the series. While the video is going, I will prompt you to take breaks. I'll offer exercises. It is meant to be watched in order, but there's no reason why you couldn't skip around, find your place using the timecode links.
I think we'll be watching in order.
Want to skip some things, reinforce other things. I leave that up to you. All of the code that I write, everything will be at thecodingtrain.com. You'll find the links in the video description. Now, what are you going to learn exactly? My approach is probably different than a traditional computer science course. Certainly there's no tests here. I mean, this is all self-directed self-learning, but the goal here is for you to experiment and play. It's okay for you to not understand everything, to have those happy accidents, to move forwards and backwards and just discover what it is that you're interested in trying to make without worrying about it too much. You will need help. There's no way to just learn all this stuff just completely on your own without talking to another human being. So maybe you have a support system for yourself. Maybe you have some friends you're learning with. Maybe you're taking a class. I'm not sure. But if you don't, I certainly would encourage you to use the comments here, whatever platform you're watching this on. But the place for you to get help in terms of the Coding Train community is the Coding Train Discord itself. I'll put the URL for how you join and obviously in the video description as well. That's it. That's all I've got for you before it's time to get started. It's time to get started. You're gonna write your first line of code. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see what you learn, what you make, and what you think of this series.
Introduction, how to download processing. Oh, maybe we'll download processing while I'm live. What version of processing did I download? I downloaded it years ago. Processing, I think it's the third one. Yeah, processing 3. Yeah, maybe I should just re-download. Let's just continue watching.
Okay, I am now going to show you
not maybe, I should definitely re-download.
To download processing onto your computer, which you will need to do before you start following.
You know, I never made too much with processing 3, so I might just delete this one too when I go and download 4.
Coding portions of this video. I should also say that I've been recording this whole long video at different times on different days, so my outfit and clothes and lighting might change here and there, so I apologize for that, but hopefully you'll be able to follow. It's gonna all be pieced together in the perfect way that lets you just follow it all the way through. But the part you're at right now is downloading processing. So you will need a computer. It can be Windows, Mac, Linux. Those are the computers that support processing. You're going to want to go to processing.org.
Yeah, processing.org.
And there's a lot on the processing website that you can look at. I'm going to very specifically cover quite a bit about the reference under documentation, but I certainly would encourage you to go to the tutorials, examples, books,
like the emotes.
Learn more about the people, et cetera, et cetera. But here, right now, what I want to look at with you is download. So the page should auto-detect the version it thinks you should download, and it is correct for me. I want processing 4.2 on Mac OS. You will actually probably see me using processing 4.1.2 or 1.3 when I'm doing the coding because I've recorded those already. But what you will see is either 4.2 or even a later version of processing, depending on when you're watching this. I am on Mac OS. I am using an Intel. It's an older Mac. So if you have an M1 or an M2 Mac, you'll want to click on the Apple Silicon version instead. And then also here, if it's not auto-detecting properly, you could go to Windows to grab the Windows version, Linux, and oh, there's even a Raspberry Pi version of
That's
processing,
cool.
which could be something you want to try someday.
I wonder if the Raspberry Pi version would let me do full screen files on Raspberry Pi. I imagine that's the case, and I could just copy and paste my files from Mac to Raspberry Pi. That would be very appealing. So, yeah, more and more sold on processing as it goes on.
I'm just going to click right on here. It's finished downloading. I'm going to unzip, and I have the processing application
Could probably do that with P5JS too, but whatever.
there. So I can actually just double click and run it. Or maybe on a Mac, I might want to go to my applications and actually move it.
What's your target stream length typically? We're going overtime today. So my current schedule is here. I'll put this back on the screen. Move it to the top left here. To adjust all this because it's different than the last time I made it. There we go. My current schedule is on Mondays through Thursdays. I'm going to stream for an hour from 5:30 to 4:30 p.m. Like I said, we're going a little overtime just because I want to make sure I find like a nice finish point for us to begin tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Sunday. So Mondays through Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. And then on Sundays, I'll stream for about 3 hours, but I don't have a time yet that I know I'm going to stream. I'll post a schedule on Instagram once I finalize what I want to do on Sundays. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, streaming all those days. I forgot about the schedule tab. No, that's not up to date. So I do have the schedule commands. Hell yeah, appreciate it. I do have the schedule command, but I have not updated my website. I do have to update that. But yeah, the tab on Twitch, yeah, that I did update. So Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Sick, I need to check the commands. Yeah, a lot of them probably need updating. Yeah, not just a lot, but probably all of them need updating, because I have not updated them since I started streaming. Again, they're all from when I was streaming back in 2021. But maybe there's a fun one, I can't remember. But yeah, they're all from back then as of now.
And then once it's in there, and you can see I have some other versions of processing that I'm keeping there, I could double click it, and it's asking me to make sure I want to open it, which I do. And there we go. There's processing. I'm going to show you very quickly a screen capture of the same thing happening on Windows. And also, in case you're curious, this is what it looks like on Linux. And if you have any trouble downloading and running processing, there's places.
For some reason, his Linux computer was in French. Interesting.
For help. The comments here, the Coding Train
I actually don't know if it was French. I'm just assuming.
And the processing official forum as well, all of which I will link in this video's reference materials.
Cool. So we're gonna leave off here with the first real chapter. But yeah, let's download 4.3. Oh, so they're on a new one but not too far ahead. I'm not on Intel, so I got that wrong. I'll allow it. Yeah, make sure it doesn't. I forget. It's been a while since I've downloaded an app. Hashtag or a command lurk. Yeah, got the lurk command going. I use the lurk commands in other people's channels when they have it, because sometimes I don't feel like talking, but it's nice to like acknowledge that I'm there. So I always like a lurk command for that. Gotta make your bot worth its money. It doesn't cost any money, so it's kind of already worth it. But yeah, I love the commands. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it didn't automatically drag on. So right now what it's showing is if you're new to processing, start with an example, mouse interactions in 2D, run the example, watch what happens, modify the code. Yeah, we'll try this. If your first time with Visio 4.0 release, you can read what's changed in 3.0. Nah, I'm not familiar enough with 3.0 to read that. Be sure to visit tools, theme selected to choose your own color scheme for the environments. Not fond of Sketch, whatever, get started. Can switch between different modes. That's cool. Yeah, what was I going to do? Oh, move it to my applications folder. One moment, y'all. Gonna replace processing 3. I don't think I'll need it for any reason. Sorry, I'll put music back on while I'm doing this. Cool. I think it's all set up now. Oh, wrong can. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so here we go. We got it downloaded. We're all set for next stream. And yeah, let's cover what we did today and then talk about what I want to do on Sunday. So we talked about the pros and cons of what was it? Harvard CS50 versus, was this the name of this course? Creative Coding for Beginners full course. And then we'll say pro. Harvard CS50 seems more in depth, but Coding Train will allow me to make creative work and present it much faster while seemingly teaching me similar concepts. Sorry I gotta talk so slow while I type, but I don't know any way around that. And then Creative Coding for Beginners. Processing versus P5JS track. I'll say processing track was created more recently. There are I was looking up before you got here, Joe, about I learned, so what my overall goal is to get to is a game engine called Godot. And they recommended learning programming. They recommended this Harvard course that I'm talking about right now. And specifically, they recommended learning a bit about object-oriented programming. Oh, yeah, you took computer science, didn't you? You took a computer science intro course, I remember, but in person. But yeah, they, what was I gonna say? So I was trying to learn object-oriented programming. I had to figure out what that was for the first part. And then I talked to a friend about it last night and he explained it to me a little bit and that was very helpful. And I looked up today on stream, I started by looking up Java versus JavaScript, and which is object-oriented programming, which isn't, and it looks like they kind of both are. But JavaScript uses objects more, I guess, which is what Godot uses, but it looks like they're covering objects in this Daniel Schiffman's covering objects in this processing course anyway, so that covers my concern about that. I'll also write Raspberry Pi port could allow me to create installations, just sculptures with processing. Processing 4 allows you to create full screen apps, which is huge for me. The full screen part is so awesome because I don't want it to look like a processing file. How are we feeling about this song? So this whole album, I'm not sure how I feel about. I made a playlist of streaming music that's all DMCA free music, and this album don't think I'm gonna keep in the playlist, but it's not that bad lately. Actually, no, it's not the right vibe right now. Take it back, it's too chill. Trying to keep the energy a little bit while we're ending stream. I brown by it to withdrawal on the W deadline. Yeah, you know, I remember that. It sounds like such a tough course, especially when you're in school. Like, it's better for me now. I'm glad I'm doing this now because I can, like, watch tutorials online like I'm doing. I can go at my own pace. I feel like going full in on a course while you're trying to balance all your studios and everything is just too much. I'm trying to make a game in Unity. No way! So I'm a similar path to you. Awesome. No, that's perfect. We can share notes then. That's awesome. So exciting. Sweet. No, that's perfect. So the only reason I chose Godot is because Godot, it was free. It seems a little bit more beginner friendly. It works in both 2D and 3D, which I guess Unity does too. But Unity, the only thing that turned me off was that all that news recently about developers who used Unity having to charge a lot of fees. I know they went back on it, so it's probably not that big of a deal anymore, but still. Yeah, one of the things that made me choose Godot. So yeah, the first stream, I was trying to figure out, if you go back to my first stream, I was trying to figure out what game engine to use. And have you ever seen the streamer Pirate Software? One of the things we did was we looked through, I found this guide that he made about game development that's actually genuinely so helpful for me trying to figure out what game engine to use and such. I didn't hear about that. I should check it out and be educated. Do we get to get Unity for free through work? I don't know. That's a great question. I have no idea about Unity. I just know Godot's free is all. But yeah, here's the game development page that helped me choose Godot. Here you can see a little bit of it here. He talks a little bit about different indie games, what they used, how they went about it. He talks about how apparently the code for Undertale is incredibly messy. I think we might get Unity and Unreal to work. Cool, I didn't know that. I'm saving that link, thanks. Yeah, for sure. No, it's a great link. And I'll also put the link to Godot if you're interested in checking it out. It took me forever to find, but I finally found like a good intro to Godot tutorial, or seemingly good one. But then immediately they're like, yeah, go take a programming course. Even though this is good for beginners, you'll still want to know a little bit of programming before jumping into any game engine. Yeah, no, for sure. What else? I did put the tutorial link in chat. The way, here, let me pull up one of his other videos that made me want to learn Godot. It's just a YouTube short.
And a dog shit. It was not very good. And over years and iteration and amazing. It was kind of dog shit. It was not very good.
Talking about Blender first.
Over years and iteration and amazing updates, Blender is now king. And most of the time, people use Blender over anything else, and it's free. Godot is Blender. Godot is the Blender of game engines. It is the little engine that could. It has a lot of effort behind it, has a lot of people that are very interested in it. It's getting better and better and better updates, and eventually, everyone's going to want to be using it. Godot is probably the closest that we've come to for the next iteration of Flash, meaning that it is an accessible engine for a younger generation that is free. It allows you to make really cool shit. Blender.
Yeah, I know that's very kind of like lofty, but I kind of like Pirate Software. You know, I think he has some great tutorials, not just tutorials, but great kind of Q&A streams for game dev. He used to work at Blizzard as a game developer. But yeah, I've never used Blender or Maya or any of the other 3D modeling softwares, but from what I understood about Blender, that comparison kind of made sense to me. So yeah, I love that dude. I value his input. Yeah, no, that's funny. You know him. Yeah, go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, I value his input too, for sure. He knows more than I probably ever will about game dev, so that was very helpful to see. He's like, Loki, that's funny. I can see that for sure. Kind of like that guy who used to work at the RISD store too, that everyone said I looked like. I'm blanking on his name, which is awful because we were friends. I used to talk to him every time I'd go to the store. But yeah, anyways. It'll as soon as I stop streaming, his name will come back to me immediately. So if you're watching this, I apologize. But anyways, your name will come back to me. Anyways, where were we? We're wrapping up stream. Put the music back on. Yeah, I also love leaving Pirate Software's Q&A streams on the background when I'm working too. 4 allows you to create full screen apps. What else was I gonna say that sold me? Teaching. I'll say also too. Creative coding for beginners course is only 5 hours long, while Harvard CS50 is 10 hours per week or 11 weeks. And as long as it gives me the beginner concepts, that's fine. Mostly focused on beginner concepts that creative coding for beginners seemingly covers, which I'm like pretty sure it does cover, but I'll say seemingly just because I haven't taken it yet. Raspberry Pi Park allow me to create installations. Processing 4 allows you to create full screen apps. Skills. Oh, I'll say both Java and JavaScript have our OOP, object-oriented programming, and processing course has a chapter on objects useful for Godot. Skills should be transferable from processing to P5.js, sticking with processing. I'll say the processing track. Cool, so the reason I'm writing everything down is in addition to these streams, I feel like these boards are a really great way of me to document my progress, and you know, the best way to learn is to teach. So if I can teach it back to you all, then hopefully that'll help me learn the material much better. What else? So yeah, what we did today, start by investigating Harvard CS50 versus processing, and then we looked at Java versus JavaScript in reference to object-oriented programming and processing versus P5.js. Watched the first chapter and download We did watch the download tutorial. That probably wasn't necessary to watch on stream, but thank you guys for thank you all for sticking with me through that. Probably wasn't necessary, but it's okay. Watch the first chapter. I'll say just introduction. Watched the intro, because I don't know what is technically the first chapter. Watch the introduction to creative coding for beginners. Full course processing route. It was so necessary. With the hard, you got me there. You got me. And then we recap stream and made an agenda for tomorrow, what to do. So yeah, also Joe, another thing I think I'll do on Sunday, at least this Sunday, I'll start with the programming tutorials, and then depending on how long the stream goes, I'll probably do some housekeeping, like stream housekeeping at the end of the stream, where I do things like update Nightbot, my stream deck. Maybe I'll do that off of stream, but I might do that on stream on Sunday, just because it's a longer stream. I don't want to do that stuff on Instagram when I only have an hour to stream on Instagram. Agenda for Sunday stream. Begin chapter. What was the name of the next chapter? In Drawing with Code. Drawing with Code and learning. I forget. I'm not sure if the course is actually called Learning Processing. Wait, why isn't it letting me type? Did my keyboard just die? I hear my Mac yelling at me. Oh, there we go. And learn processing, creative coding for beginners. Gotta bounce. Let's get a beer soon or some food. Yeah, totally. No, thank you so much for stopping by, Joe. It was awesome chatting with you. Yeah, glad you're doing well, and love chatting. Thanks for stopping by. Totally. I hope to see you again on a stream in the future, and if not, we'll grab some food and a drink, like you said. But yeah, catch you next stream. Appreciate you, dude. Creative coding for beginners. Full course. And yeah, I guess that's it. Oh, and then I'll say stream housekeeping. Is it 2 words? Housekeeping. I thought it was 1 word. Housekeeping, 1 word. It is. That's what I thought. Why is it saying that's not it? Oh, I appreciate the trans heart. Update Nightbot and stream deck if not done already. You know, I'll just say update Nightbot and stream deck. And then I'll say create a stream schedule in Adobe InDesign. We really just gotta decide before I create the stream schedule, what hours I want to stream on Sundays. I'm leaning towards 12 to 3 p.m. right now, noon to 3 p.m. But we'll see. I'll say link for future reference, video games in processing /P5JS. I forget which it was, so I'll just say both. trying to organize it a little bit. And make a little circle around this just so we know how important it was. Say today's tutorial. Maybe I'll change the style of that, make it look a little nicer. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Cool. Did I cover everything? Did the agenda for today? Oops. Yeah, I think this all looks good. And just taking one last check. Cool. If you're still here, if you're on Twitch, we're going to raid. Thank you again, Joe and Pomprox. If you're still here, thanks for stopping by, Pomprox. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, if you're still sticking around, or whoever's still sticking around on Twitch, feel free to stick around for a raid. We're about to raid someone. And yeah, I'll be back Sunday. Not sure what time yet, but if you follow or subscribe, turn on notifications, you'll get pinged whenever I go live on Sunday. And then afterwards, Mondays through Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Cool. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.